Hello everyone. Welcome to your reading today. So we have made it to December. This year's been quite quick. Lots of different things for me personally, but also in the world, right? Lots of changes and shifts. So it's been a good year, I want to say overall. I feel in the collective, the path we've moved on to and we're moving through. For some reason, this feels like already the new year, even though it's a little bit early. But I feel like for a lot of people, we've started already making shifts and changes that we normally would plan for in the new year. It feels like it's already begun for some. Anywho, this reading is going to be a message straight from Source. So I've tapped into the energy of the universe, God, Source, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to bring a message straight through for you. All right. So I'll pick the piles or pick the cards. This one. Okay. So these will be your 3 piles to choose from today. For pile 1, you have blue Kyanite with connecting with animals, telepathic abilities, finding your true path, and finding clarity. I'm going to flip these. For pile 2, you have a ruby, increased abundance, passion, lucid dreaming, light of the soul. Okay, and for pile 3, you have orange calcite with boosting self-esteem, expressing sexuality, psychological healing, and energetic living. Okay, so these will be your 3 piles to choose from today. Take your time, pick whichever one or multiple piles you're drawn to, and down in the description you can jump straight into your video. I'll leave you here and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, welcome to your reading pile number 1. So amazing cards coming out for the piles because this is straight from Source, right? So there's going to be this path kind of story and the cards coming through are really beautiful. This one is interesting with connecting with animals. Before I started to do the reading, I was like, animal energy is really calling me because I was only going to use the Light Seers Tarot because they're smaller and I can pull, more cards. Doesn't mean more cards better reading, but it does kind of help refine the message. However, I had to grab the Curious Creatures. They were kind of calling as well. So there is kind of like this animal energy in these cards, more related to human. So it feels more like animal spirit energy, more so than, I guess, pets or animals talking, taking the message through. Does this make sense? Anywho, we haven't started your reading yet, but that I just wanted to say that when this came through. So you've chosen blue Kyanite with connecting with animals, telepathic abilities, finding your true path, and finding clarity. Okay, really nice. Okay, so I've selected a whole bunch of cards today. There were a lot more than I normally would pick for a pick pile reading. However, all have their own strengths and can bring a message through that's important. Okay. And these have been well and truly shuffled. Okay, these two. I'll try squeeze these in. And yes, so close to the end of the actual year, right? So close. Ooh, I'm gonna take that one. It's the last card. Okay. Now, some of these might come through reversed. I'm going to read these all upright for the sake of today's reading. Let me squeeze. Yep. Kind of just. Oh, yeah, let's move these. I'm going to take this one. I feel like this one is just going to be an outlier. So if I get called to talk about it, I'll pull that last card at the end. All right, so let's take a look at your cards. So you've got number 38 with the downward path. Interesting imagery here. It's like to get to your correct path or to your light, you have to go deep within or through a challenge, right? You have to go through a difficulty or face your fears, however that may look. Okay. You also have change. Yeah, it does feel like making the change. I love how the blue colors have contrasted right next to each other. You also have Archangel Michael with safety. This is also highlighting Mercury and it's pointing south. So just like going down, it may feel like a step back. Sometimes you have to take a step back to actually have a look at the path you're heading towards. So this is very, very, very clear that the path forward may have some kind of trials, some challenges, but nothing that is going to halt you or hold you back. It's actually going to propel you forward. It's like sometimes we take a step back to take 2 steps forward instead of staying still. Do you know what I mean? That's how it's really feeling. I feel like that's where the finding clarity is. You take that step to get perspective and make the shifts and the changes that are required for you to ascend to like a higher version of yourself, right? More, how would you say, more connected self. And look, this is safe. Michael is here to support you through this or help you progress. That's how it kind of feels. Whether you, this is really talking about people in your life or guides or anything like that, ancestors, it's really feeling like you are safe to traverse into this, let's say, unknown territory. If it is unknown, it may be known to you. Yeah, look, Michael coming through again. This isn't necessarily Michael's card, but the Sword of Light always feels like a Michael kind of energy. So it says here, divine protections, cords cut, breakthrough energy. Look, I feel like you probably already know what this is about. Maybe it's dealing or starting to speak up to a challenge or take on a new project that is scary. There's something here that is worth your time and energy. It might feel like there's a difference between feeling like this is like negative energy around this thing, or it could be just anxiety and worry about what if everything doesn't go right. It's like there's a difference between our fears telling us that we can't do it and or our real intuition being like, oh, this is a bad idea because I'm getting all these like signs and stuff. This probably isn't a sign. It's probably just more like our internal alert systems being like, oh, I don't know about this. But look, this is how you get the change that you want, the breakthrough that you want. You wanted this kind of shift. So Source is really coming through with like, you are guided not just divinely, but also this is your path that you chose. Like it's feeling like you need to go through this to get to a better outcome because you've cycled with this maybe in the past. They're kind of showing through because we're coming up to December, maybe challenges with family or friends or situations, you know, that kind of thing. This is your time to speak your truth. Michael is all about truth. So really interesting cards coming through. Cords being cut, severing the past. All you have is now. You only have this moment. The people that are really important are the people that are right in front of you, or that you're communicating with online, or that are in your space. The past is the past in a sense. And perhaps you've had a lot of time to ruminate or try to process this, and now they're really talking about the action behind that thought. Okay. Yeah, wow, look, it's really, really, really clear with what your message is. You've got the cords being cut, and you've also got the karmic board clearing. This is energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. What did I say? Truth was really coming through. Ooh, there's a lot here. Also, even just the blue, with the blue and Michael coming through, because he's generally like blue, right? You have to go into this challenge to see the light and find your shooting star, or your dream, or your future path. It doesn't feel like you're going into like the underworld, right? It doesn't feel toxic. It's just like maybe around. I think it's like a change of perception. Because someone can make the room feel really heavy, right? There's certain people in our work or our life that just drag down the vibe of the room. And there's certain people that lift it up. And when you see the contrast between, who always really wins, it's the one with the highest light that kind of does. It's not like it's a competition, but that light generally will overshadow the shadows, right? The shadow will be there, but it's kind of limited to what it can do, because it's just that's just how it's feeling. Obviously, everyone has different situations, but I feel like that'll help clear the board and start literally rewriting your starting from the Ace of Pentacles, I guess, and starting to plant that seed is kind of how it's feeling with this card. But it's living your purpose, your truth, what is right for you, speaking it. Maybe you need to tell someone that. Maybe you just need to tell yourself that you're okay with it regardless of what everyone else thinks. I mean, just from a personal note, me putting stuff on social media, because I didn't create a separate account because I wanted this platform to be fully true to me and me to be part of it, right? So it's not like I'm separate here as Blue Light Oracle and then me as Chris. Like same. I am one and same. These are just like kind of titles that have either been attached to me or I've taken on. So why that's coming through, I'm just like, where was I talking about that? But the reason why that's coming through is to be true. And yes, this is where I was going. The stuff I post on there is exactly what I feel is true to me. I'm not minimizing it, whitewashing it. This is about being true. And that's where I feel rewrite your story, and this being safe, because you're literally finding your true path, right? Finding clarity on what do you want in your life? What is right for you? That's very, very clearly coming through. Sometimes you do have to cut cords. To have a breakthrough, you have to let go of the past. To have a breakthrough, you let go of people. And it's not black and white, right? Where you're with them all the time or you're completely separate. Sometimes you just minimize the energy, or your energy, or their energy that is impacting you, or like your access to you. You just have lighter conversations. You don't talk about certain things with them. You still can be true to you without having to be in energy that doesn't serve you, right? Because you're both gonna be unhappy in that sense, because you're vibrating at different frequencies. So I mean, you find your own quote unquote norm, right? You find your own norm. Okay, I can never get through this without talking to the cards that have already come out, but it's just so clear with these two cards. This deck doesn't have all cutting cord kind of like clearing energy. There is one more, and I think that's the Violet Flame, right? And that's burning it out. But this feels like just a restart for you, a change, a shift in frequency, a start to vibrate higher, which is scary because you're gonna have to, like, I feel like, not you have to, but like, honestly it does, because this is coming from source, right? So it's like, I'm gonna say what it's gonna say. You have to release some of this old stuff. It's not helping you in the moment right now. Okay. Any fears, any worries? What did I say? I said the Ace of Pentacles, but we've got the Ace of Wands. So this feels like, you know, maybe it's not a physical type thing. It's like an expression of self, an inspiration, starting to create whatever that looks like. And again, it looks like it's down a red path, right? This red road. So it's going to be interesting. It doesn't feel like it's going to be like so challenging you're going to be stuck anywhere or like unsafe. You're safe. You're definitely safe. Okay, I'll try to not talk too much. Oh my gosh, look. These are coming through exactly what this is talking about. Standing in your power, speaking your truth. Standing up for what is right. Sometimes that puts you in a position where you're not seen in good light, right? You know, abolitionists, when they were promoting, you know, stopping slavery, that kind of thing. Their society was very much like, oh no, this is fine, right? And then there were these some people. So it's always the people that stand out first that get kind of their ridiculed and criticized. And then we look back and we're like, oh wow, they were, you know, top people. They really tried to do what was right for the collective. So you got to do what's right for the collective, but also what's right for you. Got the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I feel like that's how you get into this end process and you can start to begin again with the World card. Okay, so the cards are coming through very, very, very clear. You also have, wow, the World card again. You've got two worlds. Whew, that is amazing. I think I might have put these upside down. No. You've got the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels like to get to the next beginning or the new world or the new phase of who you are. And even these symbols are really interesting. It's like traveling through dimensions and different not frequencies, different like literally dimensions. You might be an astral traveler or travel in dream time, or, you know, psychic in some sense. I mean, you definitely are anyway. Everyone is, right? But just like I could go play basketball, I'm not going to be Shaquille O'Neal. You know, there's always like a difference, but that doesn't mean it's any more or less. You are fully you, who you need to be with everything you need. That's definitely coming through. So I like that it's like, you know, more of, I mean, not that this is masculine or feminine, but it's like a kind of like masculine figure and a feminine figure here. So it just kind of feels like the two worlds of who you are. Potentially even talking to twin flame energy. But this is like, you know, just like an offshot kind of message. It just feels like those energies merging within you in a sense. So if you're on the journey, maybe meeting, maybe starting to get clues or some kind of like clearing of some sort. If you're not on that journey, then in the higher realms, kind of like coming together of like, you know, two aspects of a soul communicating in a more harmonious manner. That was very sideline, but, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, of course. Yeah, it looks like as things go by, things will get better and better, right? Things will become clear and then new things will open up that will be unclear. But that's okay because you've got clarity on the things that you were waiting on getting clarity on. So it's like, this is a cycle. This feels like a cycle. And you can see here, she is got her little candle and it looks like she's writing stuff. She's got another candle. She's making poultices. You know, she's doing what she needs to do to manifest what she wants in her life. So I feel like at some point you'll get to the point of actually doing something that's really correct for you. This is about self-mastery, but also mastery of skills as well. Whatever you're working on, if this is in regards to work, you know, take this with you, this restart, this refresh, this like cleanse and restart. It feels really, really, really positive. So the world's not just about the end and then the beginning, it's really about celebration as well. Speaking of finding your fire, this Queen of Wands, is, you know, it feels like she's celebrating, but she's also sitting down. So she's like Zen, right? Like these ones are feeling very zen, even though they're standing up for what they want. It's like there's this zen aspect. I always like the Queen of Wands because I always see her as a person who knows where they're going, knows who they are, isn't worried about what other people think, has given up on, not given up, has broken away from the past and is starting to focus on what her needs are and what is right for the people around her. That's why she's ready, because she's ready to help others because she's done the inner work. She's done all that work. She's found her flame, you know, because look, she's created it herself. She hasn't gone and taken someone else's flame. She knows exactly what she's doing. Like that's just how it feels. All right. I will say there's like a little inkling for some people. This might also be finding the right people. It also might be you might be guided to like a teacher in some sense. That's just another offshot kind of comment, but that seems very true. And you'll be, you know, being yourself and really understanding who you are, and also starting to combine that with the work that you do or the hobbies that you do. All right, and the King of Pentacles. This is feeling so relaxed. It's really like, look, this could be for the whole year, pile number one. This could be like a really long journey, but like such a good one, right? We don't, the destination is great, but where we get all the information is from the path itself, literally the road we walk down. Being ourselves, celebrating our successes, and learning from the things that don't work out as well, but really trusting ourselves that we will get here and here. These are great cards. These two right at the end are like very powerful for me, and it just how I'm looking at it. It's like knowing who you are, loving who you are, and also finding peace and success and fulfillment with the things that are around you. Not just, you know, always on the road of like, I need to make more money. I need to, like this grind thing. It's like he is so much more calmer and he's expressive, and I feel like he can start radiating that to others. So, I mean, it feels like success through inner accomplishments and seeing the value and appreciation in the world around you. Whether that's money or not, it can be, and it will be like enough, right? It'll be at least enough at minimum, but it does feel like just a more appreciative feeling towards you and now, being now in the present moment now. Okay, that was a lot of energy coming through. Oh, so it's really nice. This telepathic abilities is interesting. You're starting to really read situations correctly, right? They talk about cold readings and stuff like that, and how, you know, sometimes seen as a negative. It's like, oh, you just read, you know, you just went by a situation, you saw their facial expressions, their clothes, that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, look, I do this. I don't know who's reading this. Some people don't even have their real names, right? So how would I know? But regardless, that's not such a bad thing. You're starting to pick up on things. We're so much more than just like, if we're spiritual, we have to only focus on the spiritual things. No, we can focus on the material things. Nothing's bad unless we perceive it to be negative or bad, or nothing's good unless we perceive it to be positive or good. It's really about just becoming aligned with who you are. This whole reading's about that. Will that be a very smooth path? Potentially not. It's going to be releasing old things, and sometimes our ego wants to hold on to that because it's who we've been for so long. And if we pull that away, what happens? We split apart, right? But that splitting apart doesn't have to look like actually breaking down. It can be like seeing more of ourselves more truly and freely, and then choosing what we do with that and how we move on from here. I'm going to pull this. I don't know what's here. Let's take a look. Strength. Right above here, strength. It does feel also like a merging of your, again, it could be like twin flame energy, or it could be just masculine and feminine energy within yourself, or your feelings towards men, or feelings towards women, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? There might be like some hidden kind of toxic feelings towards, oh, that's such a man thing to do, or such a woman thing to do, oh yeah, well, you know, those kind of things. And you see the horrible comments sometimes in YouTube or TikTok and things like that. But it's not about buying into it. It's just about understanding, what do you take on from what other people say and think, and what do you leave? It's taking a very mindful step back and look at you and your life and where you're headed to, and is that really where you want to go? What can you do to shift and make some changes that you want to see? Well, there's a lot here and a lot to contemplate and think about. Source isn't playing today, I guess, is like the best way to say it. But that's really it. I would suggest probably saving this if you did pick pile 1, and maybe coming back in like 6 months time, 2 months time, 3 months time. If you don't, that's obviously fine. You don't have to. There's so many readers out there, so many amazing readers on YouTube, so you can always check them out. But I think I'm gonna leave that here. So thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. This is an amazing reading, just from my personal opinion. You know, finding your true path, finding clarity, beautiful cards coming through. Have to go into sometimes our challenges and face them head on, right? Face them head on. But you're divinely protected. Divine protection. Michael's coming through. Like, you can't get more divinely protected than Michael and the Sword of Light. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you letting me read for you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Hello, hello, power number 2. Welcome to your reading today. So really beautiful crystals coming through today for this reading from Source Energy. This is tapped straight into Source Energy. I've kind of seen it as opening up a library of, you know how we have Akashic libraries for our souls? I was like opening up the Akashic records for, you know, Source's soul, I guess, or the biggest kind of energy. Not that one's better than the other or anything like that, but just tapping straight into pure Source energy. So anywho, you have chosen Ruby with increased abundance, passion, lucid dreaming, and light of the soul. I'm going to say if you're also drawn to pile number 1, for some reason it's just picking up on, like, tapping into my head or something like that. That might be where you were, or something to help you with where you are now. If you're not called, that's fine, but it's just really coming through. Okay, interesting. I don't normally get the, oh yeah, go check out this pile without more cards, but yeah, that one is kind of coming through a little bit. There might be a message there anyway. If not, you don't have to, of course, only if you're called. Okay. Yeah, this one really wants to come through. I think there's another one. Yeah, okay, it was that one. All right. It's funny when they poke back out when I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, it was correct. Okay, so we've got a couple of tarot cards, piles, decks to pick from. Okay, this one. Oh yeah, there's this one and this one. Okay. Bit of a squeeze. This light of the soul feels like a safe place for you. Okay, whoopsie. Well, I'll leave that out because that's a nice card to get straight away. You've got the 9 of Pentacles popping through. Maybe they just want to say, hey, no matter what comes through with this reading, you're heading towards increased abundance, like literally increased abundance, right? The Nine of Pentacles is about understanding what that abundance is and getting it through the hard work and the efforts you have put in already. And being like, okay, well, I've got this now. How can I share this? What can I do with this? What can I create with this? Do I share it? Do I keep it? Do I create? You know, it's all up to you. There's no right or wrong answer. You're not being like judged by it. You got to decide what's right for you. Sometimes using that, you know, you could give it all away. Another way is to keep it and create something with it that helps many more people than just giving it away. You know what I mean? So there's no right or wrong. And abundance isn't just money. It's really about feeling a feeling of fulfillment and appreciation for the things you have in life itself. All right, so you've got the calling of the soul. Wow, calling of the soul and light of the soul. Okay, starseeds unite. So it kind of feels, it's like, okay, it's time. It's time to start working on your purpose in some sense. Oh, yeah, empowerment. You have number 15 with empowerment. Number 33 too, so it is kind of like a little repeated number. Okay, you have Archangel Raziel with Christ's love. This is so cute. He's got, look at the little crosses on the key, but he's holding you know, a key to, and I like it's also got the Star of David, right? Because you know, it's one stemmed from the other in a sense back in the day. It's also highlighting Neptune as well, which feels like there's like a mystery with Neptune. There's like, you know, mystery, spiritual power, also just spiritual path as well. And Raziel's is the mystery keeper, secret keeper. So there's a lot here. There's a lot here. And I feel like you're unlocking something or unlocking a particular path that's correct for you, or you know, Raziel's coming through to give you the keys to your own psychic abilities. Maybe not psychic abilities for some, but just like a path that's going to lead you towards, you know, an abundant life or a more fulfilling life or something like that. Or maybe you're already on that path and this is just like, hey, keep going. The changes that you've made are beautiful. You've empowered yourself. You're going to feel more empowered as you continue on this path. May have been hard because you've had to leave some stuff behind, but you're headed for greater things. Is really honestly how it feels. This is an interesting reading, but that is exactly what Source wants you to know. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, wow. Yeah, so you've got higher heart activation with dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. This is so amazing in a way because it feels like your energy could have gone one of two ways, right? It can, if we're hurt and you know, ridiculed or abused in like which should have been a loving connection with a parent relationship, anything like that. This is just an example, not saying this has happened to you, but say something like that has happened as an example to someone, they can flip to the other side where they do not like they do not ever take sides of people's parents or people's like mothers specifically or fathers specifically, or like this type of religion or man or woman, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of like could have been the way that you've went, but you've been able to find harmony and seen that not every this race person is like that, not every this gender person is like that, you know, that kind of thing, which feels very obvious, but you know, us humans, we're a little bit wild. So finding that divine love and really feeling it, especially with Christ's love, like this is realizing, I guess, that everything is love, right? And not just as the words that I'm speaking out of my mouth, but really feeling it within your soul. You may be on this path already. You are finding literally the light of your soul with the ruby. It's really, and that's where the real abundance is, isn't it? It's finding peace and harmony within life and the world around you. Okay. You also have Earth Star activation with Isis energy. And I feel like Isis was one of the more, not that power or anything is like actually important in mythologies or anything like that, but just one of the more nurturing energies. I feel like also since she's right next to Christ's love, I feel like it's making me think of the Black Madonna, the little um, figurines that were around some churches that were in there for many, 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 many years. And then once, people started coming in and were like, Mother Mary was white or, whatever. Whatever, however they kind of say it. And I think some of the images were dark, and then they would say, oh, yeah, it's because, there was fires back then, all this kind of other stuff, and they would move them to a corner or like a weird place. And I think sometimes some of those were Mary, and sometimes some of those were Isis. They were little depictions of Isis. So this is just, even though I'm going really off topic, it's just, I'm saying whatever's coming through. No filters really, or no strong filters. This is really talking about anchoring, grounding. So this is grounding that energy in, so you're not flying off with, spirituality in a sense. You're really finding your place and being able to anchor that into your everyday life in a really intelligent way. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Isis coming through. Wow, such nice energy coming through for your reading today. All right, you got the Three of Cups. This does feel like celebration and connection with loved ones around you, maybe finding more fulfillment in the connections that you've started to establish or that you're heading towards making. I don't know if this is a reading of just telling you what you've already done, or if you don't feel like any of this is true in this moment, this is your path forward if you so choose to take it. It's such a nice path and such a beautiful path that I don't feel like it's going to be a challenge to actually take it, but we can just sit there to it, not taking a particular path that shows up or options that show up. That's up to us, and that's not, again, not judged. That's up to you. Six of Pentacles, yes. Lovers card, wow. Wow. The Sun, Nine of Pentacles. Okay, Seven of Swords. Okay, yes. And the Four of Pentacles. Okay, even like, look at these cards. We've got the Lovers cards, Lovers card, Nine of Pentacles, the Sun card, really feeling that vibrant energy. I feel like there is a shift away from a certain aspect of yourself with the Seven of Swords that wasn't serving, right? Like this crow is feeling like it's telling you like, hey, you don't need to go back into like hiding or anything or worry about what you may lose, because this isn't even a risky path. It's just like a door of opportunity that's showing a lot of fulfillment. The Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles can be kind of similar in a sense as well, because they've both got what they need. One person's just holding it close to them, and this person's starting to freely express it in the way that feels right to them. So they're spending it on maybe helping nature, maybe helping others, maybe helping themselves in like business or something like that. Making a choice to do what they love, or even find the connections again that they truly are important. It's kind of like with the Six of Pentacles, it's like the scales between family, friends, and romance, or partying and date night, or just, it's very much like finding a whole bunch of balance within everything in life. It's all coming from the heart. This is what's centering your reading, and it's definitely grounded in reality. This isn't something that's just off in the clouds. You've got three pentacle cards here with two majors and a cup and a sword. And even the sword, talking about deception or stealth, it has so many different meanings. But as you can see here, it's also scouting the area and just understanding who you are and many different aspects of you. It doesn't feel like it's taking action of like taking something and hiding it or destroying something. It's just really scouting out and really understanding who you are and what's right for you as well and what's not right for you. from a higher perspective, because they feel like they're above the whatever they're looking down onto, on the cliff looking over. And I feel like that's the really light aspect of the swords. In this particular imagery, it's just like seeing that from a higher perspective. I mean, this is all coming back to empowerment too. So what do they really want to say as like a sum up? Because I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if you necessarily are needing to do anything, or you've already started to do things and you're already unlocking your own Akashic access to your records or something like that. I do want to quickly read Christ's love though. So I want to know what the book is really saying in this reading. Because it's just interesting that Raziel has it, and he's got on his head the Herald, which really doesn't feel like Raziel. The Herald normally makes me think of Gabriel, you know, the one that shares messages or announces information. Raziel feels like the Secret Keeper, or the Scribe, or something like that. So it's just a very interesting card, especially with the religious symbols as well. But maybe the angels are shifting slightly. Yeah, it even says here, Raziel as the keeper of secrets, of the initiates and esoteric knowledge, is guardian of the keys that enable access to the divine spiritual beings. So you might be having more access to your, I just want to keep saying abilities, or maybe connection with spirit is healed or starting to be soothed, especially if it was taken advantage of in the past or ridiculed or criticized in the past. Okay, so let's see. It says here, know that Christ's selfless love is close to you at this time, so that you remember who you are and connect with the true spiritual self. The presence of Christ consciousness will permeate your soul, filling it with the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven, a spiritual state of grace. Raziel asks that you absorb the message of this card and be willing to, and by witnessing the expansive and restorative love of Christ, begin to live your life according to the divine law of love. And that's everywhere in here with this soul calling, light of the soul, your higher heart, the lover's card, like it's everywhere. And even the ruby itself, it's just like that passionate kind of like looking energy. Also the red and, you know, grounding, earth chakra, sorry, not earth chakra, root chakra, or even earth star chakra, because it is saying earth star activation. So it's a lot here. You're starting to really feel into who you are as a soul incarnate as a human. That's coming up, or that's already begun for you. I don't feel like there's really anything you need to do or say or do anything, but just be in the state of gratitude that, you know, Source or the universe or God is on your side, and is helping you through whatever you're going through. So don't feel like you need to minimize anything or be anything other than you. That's it. That's all I see. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today, pile number 2. Really crazy, amazing message, right? Really beautiful cards have come through for your reading. Congratulations on doing the work and getting into a position where you can start to create the life that you deserve and want to live in this life. It's really amazing. So anyway, thank you for letting me read for you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So really lovely cards coming through for this message from Source. You've chosen the orange calcite with boosting self-esteem. I was missing a lot of letters from that for some reason. Boosting self-esteem, expressing sexuality, psychological healing, and energetic living. So we're going to see how this comes through. Also, orange calcite. It's just a really vibrant looking card, right? Or energy or crystal. I do have a little piece here. It's a very small piece of orange calcite. as well. Well, I believe it's orange calcite. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's orange calcite. Okay, so let's see what your message is from Source. Messages have been really, really interesting today. Really nice messages from Source. Well, okay. Well, must be this one. Even the cards are excited. Okay, this one keeps poking me, so we'll take that one. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna move these over so I can get as many tarot as I can. For some reason I feel like your reading pile 3 is different to the others. I don't know, it just feels like a very different message that's going to come through. We'll see, of course. I'm not going to go by anything other than what the energy feels like as it comes through. I really want this one as well, so I'm going to put that there and we'll pull it at the end to just see what comes through. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards today. Oh wow, so you have the downward path. This actually came out in pile number 1. I was going to say this feels like a different reading, however, like it was going to be a different kind of message, but it does still feel different. We'll see what else comes through, but you got the downward path. I'm going to pull another card just to see if I'm on the right track with that. You also have Heart Flower. That's beautiful. Look at that card, number 9. You also have Archangel Uriel with Clearing. So interesting. This is the Light of God. This is definitely about overcoming some kind of... Look at this. You may have already overcome this kind of energy in the past. Even the song playing is Smile Again. This is like a refresh of who you are, kind of like a glow up, let's say, by clearing out some of that old. It doesn't necessarily feel like just clearing out, but it does feel like needing to take a new look at something, a new look at the past and not see it with triggers and anger and fear. It doesn't mean, hey, just go change your mind, right? I'm not saying that. I'm really like taking a look at it and starting to really, I don't know, it's like move through it, process it in some sense. Let's have a look. You have Gaia Gateway with learning experiences, wisdom transmission, and earth intelligence. This is so interesting. It's definitely about, it definitely feels like starting to reawaken your world in some sense. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's definitely starting with heart flower. Makes me think of like beautiful flower opening up and someone just coming along and plucking petals out, right? Or hurting someone, and it's kind of like closed back up. This is like reawakening your heart chakra or reopening your heart in some sense. Could be off with that, but that's just honestly how it feels. You also have the Seraphim Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. Really beautiful here. I feel like this is really saying, reminding you that you're here for a purpose, you're here to experience as well as, you know, create and process and get through many different changes, challenges, ups and downs, right? We do have highlights in life, but for whatever reason, I don't know, because we're human, we really do focus on the things that hurt us or held us back. And this is definitely getting you to reawaken in some sense. This is popping up now, and it's kind of like the downward path is talking about to get to the light, you have to go through some of the challenges. You have to go down into the depths of like some of your past. It feels like past, this one. This doesn't always feel like past, but for you it feels like the past of who you were, who was in your life, what happened to you, this kind of stuff. And obviously you do it at your pace with the people and the professionals that you feel comfortable and confident with. That is definitely the key here. It's not to just go, okay, I should be fine. You will be fine. This is about cleansing and clearing the old. It's also highlighting North Node. So even though this feels like going back, it's not actually a step back. It's really a step forward into more depths of who you are. And it's also highlighting Uranus, which is generally seen as a planet that's I don't know why, but it wanted to come through as bombastic, which doesn't really sound good with already its idea of its name. But like, you know, it's like kind of like it's just like a wild card sometimes. And this feels like a good opportunity to start clearing some of that old wild energy. Especially with the Seraphim right next to Uriel. Uriel is one of the kind of like higher archangels, and you know, I don't know if he's exactly a Seraphim, but I'd say he's probably up there with the Seraphim, if not a Seraphim himself. Yeah, so you are guided. You're not being just led astray or pushed into the challenges without any guidance. You're supported probably through ancestors, I feel, even if they were the ones that maybe caused some of the issues. You're guided in a sense, but you take it your way, your pace. Okay. So you have the Page of Cups. This does feel like a messenger. Also love, right? It's starting to reconnect with your heart. And it feels like sexuality as well, because even just the shape of this, not trying to be crude, but just the shape of this talking about expressing sexuality, it's starting to like feel into your I'm trying to make it not sound rude, but you know, feel into your energy again, like the energy of like so much more than just sex, right? Just your what's the word, exuberant self. Okay. Ooh. Okay, you have the Four of Wands. You have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's been a path. You have the Eight of Wands. Okay, lots of wands. You have the Nine of Cups. Wow. You have the Hierophant. Yes, 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 yes. And you have the Three of Cups. This almost makes me think of the Three Sisters. The Sirius constellation, I think, was called the Three Sisters. Or, I don't know if that's actually true, but that's popping up in my head. I should probably look that up. Maybe you want to look that up too. Maybe Sirius, or I don't know which constellation is. There's one that's called the Three Sisters. I think it's called that. Anyway, sometimes some stuff just pops in my head and I'm like, is that actually true? But anywho, there is something there with either Sirius or the Three Sisters constellation. If you want to look that up, maybe it will lead you to something that will remind you of who you are, potentially like starseed energy, but this is just one card that's come through. The Three of Cups generally is about celebration, right? And you've got the celebration here. It's been a path, it's been a trial though, but you're not done. You still have so much more to offer, so much more energy to give, so much life to live. There's so much here. And look, you may have already gone through a lot of this, and congratulate yourself, like enjoy the bounty and abundance. This will be coming in very quickly. You pick this path, of like releasing and just observing or taking a look at some of the more challenging stuff so that you can be more in the present, because Gaia is coming through as well with, I'm not too sure, there's some kind of like, maybe you're working with that divine feminine energy, and kind of like with Gaia is you know, another name for Earth. And look what humans do and people do, or just like the changes, right? The comet hitting and dinosaurs being wiped out. Gaia really has to like react and fix a lot of things that are kind of changing and wild in what we would see in a lifetime. Although this is like, we're talking from a planetary, but this is the soul of the planet I want to speak to. You may have gone through things that have really like you've had to really pull everything back in or get back to who you are. And that comes through with like a lot of like walls and challenges and stuff like that. So potentially that's where the downward path is talking about. The path isn't going backwards, it's going down into the depths, but it's forwards into the depths instead of just sitting at the top and just staying stagnant. So it's worth it because you've been given a light as well. Uriel's coming through with this light to light the way. There's a light here, there's a light here. There's like a dream here in the distance. And it's hard because you have to go through the, some of the more challenging stuff to get there. But it's not going to be very long. It's going to be a very short trip, quick like indication of what this is, so you can start getting what you deserve. I don't know if that's like better connection with family, like your children, finding someone, maybe a better connection with your partner. We'll have a look at what this may be about. This is going to be the card. I'm just going to have one card. I'll try to interpret it. But it's like, what is this going to bring exactly into your life? Because it looks like success, companionship, happiness are more connected to your spiritual path as well. Better walls. Not better walls, better boundaries, not walls. Turning walls into boundaries. That you're still open, but you won't tolerate nonsense, right? Instead of just walls up and then quick reactions like, someone walking past your wall and you're like the cat trying to slash them or something. It's like, whoa, chill. So you've got the Four of Cups. Yeah, so it does feel like even though it's the Four of Cups and we think, oh, great, it does look like it's better than where you're sitting now, this connection or whatever these energies are coming through with these cards. The Four of Cups is just showing you a better way of living. And it's like it literally goes straight into the Gaia card as well. Not even really trying to do that, but that the rainbow here and the rainbow here, it's like a whole new way of seeing the world in a beautiful way. More separation, not separation, it's like more, what is it? More colorful, I guess, more vibrant. And maybe you've already gone on this path and you've been like, yeah, but I don't see this yet. Stick with it. With the Nine of Wands, stick with it because you're almost there to see it. With your, when you go back into shadows, you'll be picking up on the things that disappointed you, the people that hurt you, those kind of things. And this is really saying, it's there, it's in front of you, but you have to kind of look around and be aware of what this looks like. Because it never really, success and fulfillment doesn't come from just getting money, getting a man, getting a woman, whatever, whatever you're into, whatever, just whatever. It's not about the physical things. It's about the appreciation of who you are, what you've been through, how you've overcome it, gratitude to yourself, divine people who have helped you, all that kind of stuff. That's true fulfillment from what I'm getting from this message. And celebrating your wins. And also the things that have been hard that you've overcome, because that's a big gift, in a sense, to your soul's growth and learning, and to you as well. But look, you're going to get what you want out of this. This cup will be there, and you'll know exactly what that is because it's a goal that you've been working towards. And you're pretty much almost there. I want to say you're almost there. It's going to bring a lot of joy. The Hierophant laughing here. He's not the old school Hierophant where there's restrictions all around you, like a structured, organized religion. This is finding your own path to your own happiness. Look, there's descent down and then there's descent up. It's not, this is temporary, which is true for everything. It's all temporary, including the planet, including us, our sun, everything, the universe. It's all temporary. And especially for us, because we don't live long, right? Compared to like a planet, his lifetime, or the sun's lifetime. So the things we experience are even shorter, and they don't live with us forever unless we decide to hold on to certain memories in our incarnations. Interesting, very, very, very interesting. Definitely about getting back your power, not just your boosting self-esteem, reclaiming your self-esteem, not just expressing sexuality, but reclaiming your sense of passion and self. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of interesting things coming through. This is clearly a sign for you to connect, I would say, with Earth, Mother Nature, but also understand what Gaia goes through and how she rebalances, right? Things start, getting polluted in the environment, volcanoes start erupting, that kind of stuff, or, things start clearing. There's a lot of like certain liquids or whatever in the water, rubbish, and then tectonic plates start shifting more and more and more. It starts increasing. And science has already proven, parts of that with like the more this happens, the more kind of like natural disasters and that kind of thing, as they call them. When really we can just see it as Gaia calibrating herself because she has to. Either way you look at it, it still comes through with the same results. And so I think you are either working with Gaia because she can appreciate what you've been through and who you are. So remember to give gratitude to that aspect of you as well. Whew, okay. That is exactly what I see. I love that you got the Nine of Cups here. Just remember, this is definitely a celebration in all areas of life and really within yourself. And even with here, starting to see the colors and the appreciation for the things that are going to show up in your life. It's a different experience. So this is really nice. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. What a beautiful reading. I just want to say take care of yourself. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I'll see you next time.